Talofa, olo e mai mo mai le tautua le ala talua le KVZK TV, Pango Pango, America, Samoa. You are watching KVZK TV Channel 2, Pango Pango, American Samoa.
Faatale mtanga ruenga pui ngor saunga le mu se tale mtanga faatale mtanga ruenga pui ngor saunga le mu I se tale mtanga ruenga va ai tanga te fainga ruenga malo pe fa malo lotu maule leo mo fa ngai no fola au fa saina te pena mtanga ruenga fa tau inga matina e fai se su enga mo pisinisi wa fier covid ma e tau ringa ruenga au tu stala mo fa ala wilo ngana tau mo tanga te e yai mana onga fa pitoa Fatalo fatu America Samoa se fa poponga au tala mai lau KVZK e mumu atu o lo talia le taimi nei le official leo se fa I unga madamtanga ruenga over ai tangata fainga ruenga le malo e tu sai madamta upuini ali leo se totolu le na fa pe o mai au na tu ina tu le talo sangar komsina e fa manolo ina ua maua suenga sa fai sa tangufia e fola au fa saina ile masina te nei na fa ilo mai le komsina ya le fiti pese I luma lo mauta mawalunga ua mai au na ia sainia tu se fa te ai o se te lenga le nei o le reporti
O whala au whaasaina o se tasi leo whaafita audio lo mai tawina pera to telo tangata wa fiai, mai le asasiaso ma se tasi tula I luma lo whaamasinonga, o no mōlianga e whaasanga I le whaongaina o whala au whaasaina. O no le awhiai o niso le malo wa awhia le whaongaina o whala au whaasaina. O le na whasiringi ai lau KVZK le tūlanga la tamai wo iei leo to tolu, wa maua tala na maua I suenga sa whaatautai le matanga ruenga le soifo maloloina, wa awhia le whaongaina o whala au whaasaina. I se whaaminonga mai le official komisina le tau nei na tā uai. O lo o tālia le teimi nei se tali mai le matanga ruenga vai e tangata whainga ruenga le malo. Pe a mai a lātou su enga le nei mata upu. E pe o na māsani ai le whaangasa longa o le whaate eino se tasinga lue le malo. E to i nātu mata upu le whaatono le DHR po le matanga ruenga vai e tangata whainga ruenga le malo. E whai a ia lātou su enga e fuafua I lungo whaamamonga. O to i nātu e whaamani ai tua inga. E whaasanga I se tangata whainga ruenga. Mai se ilonga lava mai aso enga le matanga ruenga pe wha malo lo pele ai ona whato a whaia leo se whaai unga. Ono le awhia o nisi au whainga ruenga le ofiso leo de nei lava mata upo. Na saidi ai lau KVZK se tali mai le matanga ruenga wa e tangata whainga ruenga le malo. E se tali mai le sui whaatono ya Max Tuitele. Na ia wha amaoni ai wa tauli mai na le matanga ruenga kopi o tusi na tu inatu e li leo. E whaate ai mai a lato ngā ruenga. Ma sa ave i hele lato whautuanga le ofiso leo. Ina se I ono sa I te isi le whaate ai no li leo ona te taua na wina atu mo mua le lato matanga ruenga mo su enga na ia tu sai ma le tu la fono ina ua fisiringere sui whaatonu pe ua mai ala le lato su enga ai tali tuitele ua mai ala lato su enga langlongoina le whaate o nei li leo na fisiringere fo I tuitele pe ise mafuanga na le whaamalo lo le tu mawai li leo nei ona tu sai ma whinga whaavai le malo mo le whaongai no fuala au whaasaina ma ava malosi a whaio sangata whainga ruenga le malo e maua wa tango fia fuala au whaasaina e te tau na whaamalo lo le tu mau mo sina taimi ai tu iei le avanoa e whai e proclame toi fotua e leo langa le rehabilitation program le whaatino le matanga ruenga le sui fua malo loina ai na tali le sui whaatono I lalo le tusitu la fono Amerika Samoa vaenga fitu o lima tasifa pui pi o lo manino ai o so se tangata whainga ruenga e a afia se suenga pe wha mauni e o whaongaina le avamalosi po fuala au whaasaina e o na maua le avanoa e whai e ia proclame o lona winga e le o mautinoa le sauno fo I le whaatonu o na le tu ainga ngā ruenga lo whaatirina li leo o le mafuanga lea e matua langlango I nai le whaiunga ua whai le komisino leo e whaatea mai alatu ngā ruenga.
Ua te lele a fiango le territori le pesfa a fiai o le COVID-19 le lalangi atoa e le ngata te tapunio a la vaa. Ai o le pa ua I le whai numero le tamau a ingai maua mai o loa mo pisinisi taitasi. Ua tele pisinisi wa a fiai le tau fio fimalanga ina. O vaa la uta ma le tolo po I le telo teimi I teime tau numa iai I a uta I le atunu. O le ala lea ua whaatulanga i matanga ruenga whaatau inga mātina e se pepa whaatumu po se survey o na ele ngata o lo i lalo le tūla fono mai mwhaifoi o na tanga i matanga ruenga i tūlanga sa afia i pisinisi ma tūlanga i mana o mia talu o na afia o na le whaamai o se wainga le nei lea whaamoe moe. O pisinisi, o le poutu malosi leo le te mau aingo se atunu e te le sao i so se malo au tangata anu e wala lei olo e whatau watu ma le tupe mau e malo matunu o le lanulangi. Mo Amerika Samoa, o lo whaawhainga ruenga le telo tangata o le atunu. Matalu mai on tulai mariko vitis furuiva, wa tangi mai ele te leo suinga ma le telo luitau i le telo pisinisi tono le atunu. O niso tula fono sa whatatia mai ele malo. O le whaititia leo i tula te talai pisinisi. Ma mato na whaititia i tangata i tutono whale o loa mai si pisinisi. Ma o le ala leo whatulanga e mitanga ruenga le pepa whatumu mo pisinisi tutono Amerika Samoa po le survey.
Ua whaine e le matanga ruenga o whewhatawa ina se survey mo pisinisi. E sa ili ai a whianga o le COVID-19 furuiwa i pisinisi tono Amerika Samoa. Ua lua nei tausanga talu o na tapunia a lava a Amerika Samoa talu ai le nei whamai pipisi i le laulangi. O leo nei survey e awhia i uma pisinisi wa umana list tala ma e iei lato EIN o le Employer Identification Number. O le nei survey na amataina ia Februari sfulfa ai mai e tapunia ia matifa. E salusanga atu i pisinisi taitasi e o mai e whaatumu le survey ina ia loa i le malo a whianga o whetai ia im pisinisi le nei vai tau o le COVID-19 furuiwa. E lua au ala mawhai ai e le pisinisi o na whaatumu le survey o le whaatumu le o le survey form po le alu fo i lunga le interneti e whaatumu ai le online form. O le survey form e maua le ofisa mautu o le matanga ruenga whi whaatawa ina YouTube nei. Le mato ofisa i tāwhuna, whapea le mato ofisa i tono marketi whangtongo. O le online form, e iei i lunga le website a le matanga ruenga whi whaatawa ina, lea o le doc.as.gov. E mawhai fo'i, o na e whaatumuina le online form, o na e-maili lea i le e-maili a le vahainga whainumera, lea i le American Samoa Statistics at doc.as.gov. Be whaatumu fo'i i le QR barcode scanner app i totono lo telefoni whaaweai. E talusanga atu i pisinisi a umona whaatumu lato survey o na momori i fodea i le ofisa e tolo le matanga ruenga whaatawa inga lea na umona tau atu. E mawhai fo'i na vaenga whai numero o na tau awa tu lau survey form whapea le toi piki ina be a umona whaatumu be ai wala au mai i le mato ofisa. Mo ni se fesili ma le fia malamlama atili wala au mai numera nei. Ono tolu lima tasi lima, ono iwa iwa whātasi ma le ono tolu o tasi lua o.
O le whaatinoina o le nei vaenga tāua, se vaenga māwalunga lea silasila i ele whaatonu i apeti matila ma le mtanga ruenga whaatau inga māti nae. Awa e uile a fio le laulangi a toi le whaamai. Ai ai lava tūlanga i mawhaiona whaatinoina i lalo le tūlafono. E so soani whaatu mawina, whaangaioina, ma whaatu teleina le tamau a inga mō pisinisi taitasi. Ai mesele manuia mō Amerika Samoa. Talu mai ona a matale to sao le whaamai o COVID o tātou mua au pito i luma po first responders o lātou nei e le i mālo lo mai o lātou tō whinga o no le lātou manatu o pui ngor soifua o le atunuu. I leo whimai o le whaamai i tutono le territory o nisi watu o lātou a inga matiu te mawhaiva o tō whiai ai o mai le taimi nei. O na olea na whaafitai ai e le fionga re kovana lutena i a talawenga i le asalo va le ale. I lātou uma o na le alolofa i a Amerika Samoa e ala le lātou mtawhai o yolo o whaia pea e o mai lava le taimi nei. O le mtawhai o ila utu stala i lungo televise o le Tiomo newspaper whaapea isi e peo apio fōlinga. E te leso na fsosoani e whao atuai le whiau i le atunuu. I lu tau o lo whia ngai mai lātou e iaimana o ngā whaapitoa. I se o onga sa whaia i le tai au nei. Na wha malamalama ini se o lu i tau o lo whia ngai matangata. E iaimana o ngā whaapitoa e mafua mai le ngangana o lo wha o ngaina. E le ngata i tustusinga ma reporti o lo wha salalawina le televisi ma le tio. Ai whaapea i fo i malo minga i newspaper maupenga ta whailangi. O se au te lenga le neo le reporti.
O tangata i mana unga whaapito i lātou nei e te lona le amana ia o lātou mawhatianga. I teimi e whaatala no ai se mata upo e awhia i lātou. Ma le aunga leo se whaamoe moe pe o na whai le tau nei. E awa wina ai ni se o meo totia e au na sila fia le autu stala. Ina ia le lei ato ai le upu marangangana e te tau na whaonga ina. Ina ia awane i toi o tia tangata i mana unga whaapitoa.
Le nila o onga o matou manatu e matou te so tau o mo matou paanga ina ia mawhai ona whaile o onga ina ia whapea ona whetau i le lei ia le aweatuina le wheau i whafu i la tunuu. Matu langa matu la fono o umono whaataatia e tusai ma le tūlanga o tangata i mana o ngā whapitoa. Nanga e iai ia ngana e te tauna whaonga e tātou, i e fui au wale e te tauna tātou wawa ai e waitelo teimi e fōlinga mai e sao ia tātou ngā luenga lai whai. Ai o loo a whaina ia le wawa ai ngai i nisi tangata, e mesi nei tangata i mana o ngā whapitoa.
E pe ona saunoa ipu. Ona o le malosi o tala whea vea i runga o penga te whailangi whaapele i tio ma televise. E te tau ena malosi le whaalawi lo o tūlanga. E a ona sila fia le atunu o mo le malo pui pui o langono i lātou e i mana o ngā whaapitoa. O se tasi o whaataita inga pe ona whaongaina le tau nei. O le leile o seisi na te whaatino ina ngana sign language i lunga o tātou talafou. E whaailoa ai, whaalinga ma saunoa ngā le malo ina i o lātou mālamala mai i meo lo o tutupu i le atunu.
E te le mana noa ia tūlanga o loo whaapea ona le atua i le tatou au nanga ma le tatou tautua a wale ia le lawa i tele o le tatou atunu o loo iei mana o ngā whapitoa. Ma e te tau ona iei se tūlanga e sui ai o le au tūfui la na le masina fō o le tatou a ngā ia tu ni suinga le leima ni suinga te tau. Lano tatou malawa iei ni tatou tangata e pele e tatou iei mana o ngā whapitoa. Mai te tau ona tatou whaasoa lea atamai ma lea malamlama. Ina ia mawhai e ona tatou whaianga luenga e tusai ma le meo oman whaatatia.
E pe ona whaamalama mai e ipu. O i lātou e imana o ngā whaapitoa e le patino se tangata e whērua i seno fualtoso. E e fōle to o tele o tangata e maralosi. A lo i e lava vāanga e mo mi e le whaso swani. Ma ala tūlanga lea. E awa ena sila whiere to o tele ngana tonu. E aona whaongaina mo i tu ai ngā tangata ese lo iai mana o ngā whaapitoa.
Mo se vaingal nei talo tau. Pona ne ma tele na waoa e ta apesolo timu vevela iwa sfurtasi malu e fitu sfurvalu. Sa veli mai mantu i sivo de sfuru lima mai lai le tu la. Pola sfrele o le pola stona e ma tele na waoa e tolu timunga malu e fitu sfurfitu vevela e valu sfurvalu. Sa veli mai mantu e o i le sfuru mai lai le tu la. Aso sae o le asululu e ma tele na waoa e tolu timunga malu e fitu sfuru vevela e valu sfuru. Sa veli mai sa e le sfuru lima mai lai le tu la. Maur whai unga nao tātou tala mai lau KVZK whaatai tele le whaatas mai soifua mai Emanuia. Whawhes furfito le anga maulunga tāwhuna i le asa whareile, Februari sfuru marvalu luafe lua sfuru lua i le tūlai lima i le awhiawhi i le whale aia le aonga. Le atalano ina mta upu tāua mo ngaruenga whaatino le whasenga. Whaatai tele.
Awanoa whaingaluenga o loo mana o mia ni tangata whaingaluenga mo le Nanas Company i Pangpango. E le leile tutongi a mata mai whaatatau lava le tutongi a mata i le anga waa po o laisene ka muta. O nei awanoa whaingaluenga e mo le ka muta, whaiwila, palama, labor, site supervisor, ma le taitai for many. O loo maua pe patalusanga i whaatu mwai so awanoa mo nei awanoa whaingaluenga i le matou ofisa i Pangpango. O pe patau e mana o mia tau au mai o lau tusfolau, ID whaapeai ma le numero sanga le mu, whaatai o le Nanas Company.
O le ka lena o whaalinga, o le awhaira fontanga ra whasenga whai waso le luafe sfurfito le anga maulunga tāwhuna i le asa whareile, Februari sfuru marvalu luafe lua sfuru lua i le tūlai lima i le awhiawhi i le whale aia le aonga. O le atalano ina mta upu tāua mo ngaruenga whaatino le whasenga. Whaatai tele.
This is our stunning American Samoa, home of KVZK TV.
The Department of Human Resources has yet to provide a decision on whether or not to terminate the service of police officers tested positive for illegal drug use. Staff of DOC conducts a survey for businesses impacted by COVID-19. And the media plays a vital role in preventing misinformation about individuals with disabilities. Talafala of American Samoa, this is KVZK News. Police are waiting on a decision from the Department of Human Resources before it can action termination of the 3 officers that tested positive for using illegal drugs. The Office of the Commissioner confirmed to KVZK News this morning that a recommendation has been forwarded to the DHR Director to action the termination of the police officers. Commissioner of Police Lefiti Pese during a Senate session last week confirmed that he had already signed the letters recommending termination of employment of these 3 employees.
The use of any form of unauthorized drugs or alcohol on the job or the arrival of any person at the workplace under the influence of any form of drug or alcohol will be a cause of disciplinary action up to and including, if appropriate, termination of employment. The termination of 3 police officers who tested positive for illegal drug use prompted some family members to question the legality of the decision to terminate their employment without referring the matter to the Department of Human Resources for further investigation as per government process. In an email sent to the Department of Human Resources today, Deputy Director Max Tuitele says the Department of Human Resources were given a copy of these notices of termination issued to DPS employees, and DHR had them retract the notices and allow the Department of Public Safety process their recommendation through the Department of Human Resources. Asked why their 3 employees weren't given the opportunity to do the rehabilitation program, given this is their first positive drug test result as required under the American Samoa Drug and Alcohol Policy, Tuitele says when an employee is tested and determined to have improperly used alcohol or illegal drugs, the employee may be offered a reasonable opportunity for rehabilitation consistent with ASG and HR policies. Section 5.9 of the American Samoa Drug and Alcohol Policy, Disciplinary Procedure First Test Positive Result, says a written warning may be issued to the employee stating very clearly the behavior that is considered unacceptable. The employee is then given the opportunity to seek assistance through the EAP and will be required to undergo random tests for a period of 3 months. The employee may also be required to attend counseling if necessary or other medical assistance. But as Max Tuitele explains, the American Samoa Code annotated Section 70514 subsection B carries a bit more weight than the Drug and Alcohol Policy, so rehabilitation does exist, but as an option given the section that says may be offered a reasonable opportunity for rehabilitation. He also said given the nature of their duty as police officers that are sworn to uphold the U.S. Constitution, the American Samoa Constitution, and our territorial laws, the Commissioner recommended termination of those police officers that did in fact test positive, and after reviewing all facts of each case, the decision in support of the recommendation from the Commissioner was given.
Coronavirus has impacted many parts of life around the world, causing governments, churches, and businesses to close down. With the borders being closed, airlines limited, the business community in American Samoa has affected in many ways. These impacts include reduced business hours, limited workers, and mainly the delay of shipment from overseas due to a return shipping vessel per government orders or a postponed trip to the territory. Therefore, the Department of Commerce has conducted a survey to find out how businesses are impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. It will identify the changes in the territory's business community due to COVID. The data collected will also help determine what assistance is needed. Here's more. As we all know, the business community plays a big role within each part of the world. As for American Samoa, businesses provide jobs for most of our island community. Since the pandemic, the government was forced to ease services, which resulted in reduced business hours and so forth. This has caused so much for the business owners. In identifying the changes and impacts by COVID towards the business community, the Department of Commerce is conducting a business survey. Here's more from Minity Motel.
The Department of Commerce will conduct a business survey to find out how businesses are impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. The DOC Statistics and Analysis Division started the COVID-19 Economic Impact Survey on February 14th and will close on March 4th. All registered businesses with an Employer Identification Number or EIN are asked to complete this survey. Businesses can complete the survey by filling out a paper form or online form. The paper form is available at our DOC main office in the AP Lutali Executive Office Building on the 2nd floor, our Tafuna Industrial Park office, and the DOC Business Incubator at the Whangatongo Marketplace, where the Statistics and Analysis Division office is located. The online form is available on the official DOC website, which is doc.as.gov. You can fill out the online form and then email it to American Samoa Statistics at doc.as.gov, or you can use the QR barcode scanner app on your cell phone to scan the barcode on the flyer and fill out the form using your cell phone. Businesses are encouraged to pick up a survey form from one of our 3 offices and complete the survey. Please turn in your completed survey form at one of our 3 offices. Drop-off boxes are installed in all 3 locations for your convenience. We can even deliver a survey form to any business or pick up a completed survey form from any business, or we can do both upon request. Just call us to request delivery. For questions or more information, please contact us by calling 633-5155 for the DOC main office, 699-9411 for our Tafuna office, and 633-0120 for the DOC Business Incubator at the market.
Director Betty Matila and her department are highly recommending the business community to look into this survey in case there is assistance needed caused by the impacts from the pandemic. COVID-19 has added a layer of complexity and concern to the work of American Samoa's first responders. First responders are on the front lines of our nation's response to COVID-19. The challenges they face are immense, and the toll of their work on their mental health can be significant. In recognizing the hard work by our first responders, Lieutenant Governor Talawinga Elian Salova at this week's task force meeting expressed his gratitude for all their hard work and putting their lives on the line every day. The mass media serves many purposes. It is informative, descriptive, and persuasive, but it also helps create stereotypes and reinforce cultural values. Although there is no clear correlation of the effects media has on the attitudes of society towards people with disabilities, it is seen to have an influence. This morning, a special training was conducted at the Department of Health office in Whangatongo on inclusive and acceptable communication and how the information is delivered for individuals with disabilities.
The media seem to distinguish people with disabilities in a number of limited categories. They are portrayed as either heroes for doing something inspirational or achieving something great, as people who should be pitied for their impairment, or as people who are sinister or evil and evoke fear. In our society, people with disabilities are excluded, oppressed, treated unequally, seen as helpless, and are victims of prejudice.
Disabilities is something that we don't do enough of awareness on, and we need to make sure that we put a really good highlight on it. And the first thing we want to do is kind of do some training for those who deal with media, with communications, with connecting to the community through these avenues, so that they are able to portray that people living with disabilities are just like everyone else, and that they also need to be respected and need to be recognized as contributing members of our community.
One of the recommendations discussed provides training to professionals and individuals, such as presenters, journalists, teachers, students, and people, regarding the use of terminology and imagery. It seems that the principal problem lies in a lack of education regarding people with disabilities. Disability is ignored more often than it is acknowledged.
We're hoping that our partners who work in the media sector and communications will take this training to light when we start sending out these messages and letting the community know what's happening throughout March, because that's the main idea here.
The committee also recommends that given people with disabilities are underrepresented in the media, the topic of disability should be made more visible. It was also mentioned that people in the deaf community felt that more programs needed to be subtitled to create equal access. As mentioned by Tawhai Mamau Lefu Tuatupola, it is a slow process, but the media is beginning to change its image and the culture is becoming more accepting of people with disabilities. Tawhai said there are scores of specific conditions and several broad types of disability. Each condition is different and calls for different responses. They all produce some combination of practical barriers, medical and mental hardships within, and social hurdles and stigma imposed from the outside, from other people and social practices and systems.
Here's a look at your weather. Tonight, mostly cloudy, scattered showers, highs around 91, lows around 78. Northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night through Saturday night, mostly cloudy, numerous showers, lows in the upper 70s, highs in the upper 80s, north winds up to 10 miles per hour. Sunday through Wednesday, mostly cloudy, numerous showers, lows in the upper 70s, highs in the upper 80s, east winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. And that's your News American Samoa from KVZK. Thank you for joining us. Tau whāsoi fua.